session, the Logansport Parks and Recreation Board regular meeting for Wednesday, November the 19th. Will everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reminder, all visitors, please sign in with your names and addresses at the podium. Eamon, will you read the mission statement?
Sir. Logansport Parks and Recreation Department is committed to building a vibrant and healthy community for future generations through accessible recreational facilities and programs that promote physical health, social engagement, conservation, and cultural appreciation.
Thank you. You all received a copy of the minutes from the October the 8th board meeting. Is there any additions or subtractions that need to be made? Okay, with there being none, we will move on. We have no old business, so we'll jump right to new business. Parks Board Resolution 2025-13, adoption of part-time sports manager's position. You are up, Jacqueline.
Hi, everyone. All right, so my second resolution, hey. So we are wanting to bring in a part-time sports manager. We kind of talked about it a little bit before, about how we're wanting to build our sports program a lot more. With that, we need a little bit more help to make that and the programs that we still do currently have run smoothly, and to the wonderfulness that we are kind of going towards for next year. In the master plan, adult fitness and wellness programs were number one all the way around in every question and every situation. And with this, we'll be bringing our sports manager to help bring fitness and wellness. We haven't had that for a hot minute. We've had outside sources and outside help with this, but this will be all under us, under the umbrella of it. Yeah. Is there?
Do you have a chance to read through it, the job description? We tried to leave some things kind of vague.
I wanted to leave some of it a little bit for room for growth, so that once we kind of get into the meat and potatoes of this, of what the program we're wanting it to be, it can kind of grow a little bit with the person, whomever takes the position, and kind of with that, some of the duties that we haven't foreseen also. And then, sorry, I hate doing that, sorry. And then also, in here in the resolution, we talked a little bit about how I'm taking away one of my summer recreation assistants to make the budget work for that. So we have the funds.
Yeah, we attached so you could see our part-time help budget, and how much we have to pay for the people that work over the summertime especially. And so 15 is the max in our plans. For $15 an hour is the max. In 2040 is half of it makes it a half-time or part-time thing. So anyway, so it happens all year long. It doesn't happen just in the summertime. So in that number, 690 is like $1,000 over what we have. We always have a little more, just because my numbers are changed from moment to moment. So I'm also, since our raises this year were 3% for next year, I only did 3% for part-time help as well. So, so they're at 1340, if that's all they got this last year. So I'm going to stick to that 3% for all part-time help in the future for this next year. Any questions or additional thoughts?
So part-time, 1,040 hours a year, which is 20 hours a week on average. Does that mean that in the summertime they could work 40, but in December they work none? Is that, or how does that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't have any issues with health insurance and the fact that if you put in 40-hour weeks at some point?
No, I think you can work 40 hours a week for, like a short period of time, like, for 8 to 12 weeks without any kind of problems with perf or insurance or anything like that. There, for seasonal and part-time help, you're able to do that.
We had problems at the schools where you had aides that they had to average 28 hours or less to not qualify for insurance. So in this case here, I'm just trying to think how you'd have to have it.
Is that still?
I guess it needs to be written up that they're working 52, or they're a 52-week out year employee, and then the average would be based on 52. Like in the case of aides and stuff, they work 180 days, so it's a different kind of thing. But I just want to make sure we didn't get a case where you get a surprise of,
I feel like up until probably April, it's going to be mostly 20 hours a week at the most, until we actually get programming going that quickly. Then, full scale, it's going to be just 20 hours a week.
I think that's the way you want it to be. I mean, you'd want to, if you had that job, you wouldn't want it to be where you're, I got to leave the ball game now because, or whatever, because, I only got 20 hours.
Right.
Have your
I
sand
think
clock.
ideally, like for our part-time people that help in the summertime, they usually work 32 hours, not more than that usually. Now, there might be, like July 4th week, that they might work 40 hours those weeks, but we try to keep them at 32 hours for the most part when they're a part-time person in the summertime. I don't know that, it just depends on how involved we get with the sports programming, so.
I was just not aware of how, I'm not even sure I'm very clear on how the school does it, but, just the fact that how they calculate that and whether
I think you're right, I don't think,
there is
but
something
I don't
where.
see us going over, being in trouble with that one.
I think you'd want to make sure that you specify it's a 52-week year job, and it can be flexible to where, they can work up to, 40 hours a week, but it will average, we need to be below 20 hours on average per year, something like that, on an average. That way you don't end up where you're,
Okay, yeah.
come back later and somebody audits us.
Do you want us to amend that in the resolution?
Oh, I don't know if that, no, I don't think it's important. I think just
Or
you
we can-
probably.
More in the job
You
description?
have a job
Put the job description.
I mean, and again, you probably should just talk to the HR department. Who am I?
We can add that to the
I'm
job
not sure I'm
description.
an HR expert, so, yeah, I think you just want to, but I know at the schools it was an issue because there were some people that actually worked longer shifts, and then they would work like 2 different positions. So you're a library assistant, now you're also a teacher's aide, and there was some stuff there where, they had to require everybody to be 28 a week, but they got a lot more part-time people too, but anyway, I just want to make sure we don't get into trouble, and it's
Okay.
probably not a big deal.
We'll add that to the job description,
Yeah.
okay?
Just as it's an expectation, and not to mention, you want to be able to say that they may say, oh, it's just 20 hours a week. Well, we expect you to, if the need is there, July 4th, you'll need to be flexible to adjust to parks demands or whatever.
I did put other duties assigned on there on like every expectation,
Okay.
just in case, just because we don't fully know
Yeah.
what we're getting into. So.
Else got any questions? If there is none, do I have a motion to accept Parks Board Resolution 2025-13, a resolution of the Logansport Parks and Recreation Board to adopt a part-time sports manager's position?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 2025-13 has passed. Next up, approved 2026 meeting dates.
The only one that's not the second Wednesday of the month is November 18th, because the second Wednesday is November 11th, which is a holiday, so it's Veterans Day. So,
Are you going to have your conference again this time of year next year?
boy, I don't know when they're doing it.
Okay.
I don't know when they're doing it. I mean, I
just wonder if
would
they'll-
expect it first couple weeks of November,
So
probably.
they could potentially do it over the 11th.
That's what we did
that week.
we went on Veterans Day. We didn't get Veterans Day off.
Are we keeping the 5:30 time? I know we had talked about maybe changing time one time meeting.
That's up to you guys. I'm,
5:30 is fine for
5:30.
me. I mean,
5:30 is good for everybody.
I would want to go later.
No, I know, we had talked about 5, so I'm fine with either one.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept the proposed Logansport Parks and Recreation Board meeting dates for 2026?
so moved.
I have a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Authorize NRPA grant application for
back
soccer
up.
program. You're back up there.
Hey, long time no see. Should have just stayed up here, sorry. So going for another grant. This one is the MLS Go grant, right? That's what that one.
It's MLS soccer programming, yeah.
It's one of those really fun grants where it's like 3 different partnerships together combining for one grant. But basically, the whole point of the grant is to get soccer started in communities that don't have soccer. They give the outline for how to start leagues and things like that. They give the opportunity for jerseys and for marketing already made, so we just have to put our logo on it. The grant has an option for reapplying afterwards. So once and if we got approved one year, we can apply the next year and so on. You have to have it done within 6 months, but you can't reapply 6 months after. So if we apply in December, we would get awarded in January, have it done in July, but wouldn't be able to apply again in 2026. We would have to wait till the next year. The whole goal for this grant is to get soccer up and started in your community. I went to a workshop for it over the conference, excuse me, and spoke with both the MLS, the soccer people involved, and the RCX side of it, both with the people who are in charge of the grant, and they both really were interested in Logansport specifically getting involved with it because of our stats all the way around, of not having soccer, of our community that is very interested in soccer, of our just our community in general. So yeah. It's a pretty easy application so far from what I've read, and yeah.
How much is it? Do we know?
How much is the grant, like, would we get? I'm talking with them, there is no specific, we ask for the number. And so
Wow.
well, and that scares me, and so I wanted to have a little bit more clarification. The whole grant is 100,000 over multiple communities. And so I've been speaking with them on what is an actual, realistic number for us to ask for, but also to start us off, but not make it so we would have to then try to finish that for the next year, because I don't want to ask for 10,000 and then have to figure out a $10,000 problem for next year. So I've been asking a lot of questions.
So do we have a,
Match required, do we have to match it or anything like that, or?
Nope,
Okay.
nope, nope, we just have to go along with the instruction and make sure that we fulfill and have kids come in, but I don't foresee that one being a problem as much.
you have any other questions? If there's none, do I have a motion to authorize the NRPA grant application for the MLS soccer program?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That has passed. Don't go anywhere.
Like more? She has more?
We have moved you in front of Jan in the administrator's management report since you have to be up at Spencer Park tonight, so please proceed.
Awesome. So yeah, so I did a lot this month. We donated red ribbons to the elementary schools. We put red ribbons out in our parks. I've been doing leadership. I'm almost done with leadership, and that one is crazy to me. That felt like that was never going to end, but no, it's wonderful. I didn't realize that it's December already. Like, that's crazy. And almost done with the rec guide for the winter. Finished the Shaper grant. That is due, and we get to see the result of that on the 21st. So fingers crossed. I did a grant writing course during that time too, with the Purdue Extension for that grant. So that was kind of helpful. It was good timing. Did a lot of other stuff. The only other really cool stats that I wanted to tell you was I got the Placer AI information from the Visitors Bureau. So I looked up how many people we actually had for Howl at the Moon, and it was 1.8 thousand people at Spencer Park, day of Howl at the Moon.
And that's actually cell phones, isn't it?
That is done by cell phone data,
Yeah.
so you actually have to opt in, like, you know, when those little pop-ups come up that say, do you want to be tracked? If you opt out, then you're not counted in this information, and obviously small little humans that do not have cell phones, they don't get counted in that either. So that is still an approximation number, but it is a better number than us going around and counting. So that's really cool.
But 1,000 people said, go ahead and track me.
Yeah, 1,000.8.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was really cool. And they spent an average of 53 minutes in Houston Park. So that's pretty cool. And it's the longest average time of Houston Park and the most people in Houston Park this year. That's just Houston Park. I have not looked at all the data for all the other parks just yet. But that's pretty awesome. We did our Wicked Sing-Along. We had 35 people come and sing with us, and that was super awesome. And then the Great Pumpkin Roll, we had 45 people and 3 people who just stood off to the side to watch the entire time. And it was so much fun. The fire department came, and they had a ball. It was great. We will 1,000,000% be doing that one next year. It was just so fun. It was so silly.
Kevin's going to try and create a slingshot for
Yeah,
us
he's
for next year.
very excited. Him and the fire department really, really were excited and came up with a bunch of crazy ideas for next year. It'll be fun. They want to possibly move it to Houston because there's more room, because they want to get real creative with it, but we'll see. But yeah, and then they had the conference, and then I met with the Career Center students, which I am meeting here in a little bit, for the Christmas in the Park advertisement. I wanted to go over the Facebook stats with you just real quick, just because I said I would do that for every meeting. So our Facebook views have increased by 48.8% in the last 28 days. It gives you like a little benchmark goal to kind of go with, and I've been going with what was the last month's. Our content interaction is up 94.1%. We're at 1.2K. Our views are at 125.2K. And I'm really, the only reason I'm mentioning any of this is because Facebook is our main source of marketing. It's the quickest and easiest and cheapest form that we use consistently and constantly. And so to know what our reach is kind of important, just in general. So, yeah.
Okay.
That's all. That's all I got.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yep. Kevin, not here.
Kevin's not here, so
Then it's all on you.
it's all on me. What am I supposed to talk about? Okay. Well, so before I talk about the management report, I wanted to be sure you noticed this parks, how the parks impact you. The Indiana Parks and Recreation did a parks impact study that will tell you about the Indiana's local parks and the amount of money that they have added to the economy, $540 million annually since 2017. And public parks represent only 4% of Indiana's land area. 1/3 of Indiana's population lives within a 10-minute walk shed of a park. And 87% of Hoosiers seek trails when visiting a park, with 80% seeking nature and wildlife. And the next page shows that parks fuel more than play. Parks influence the economy through direct, indirect, induced use, 540 million, I already said that, but 15.7 billion dollars have been contributed to the economy in 2003 from outdoor recreation, and that's 3.2% of Indiana's GDP. And and then the next page is on wellness, and Hoosier respondents who visited parks weekly are 1.6 times more likely to report an improvement in their physical health, and 1.9 times more likely to report an improvement in their mental health. And one of the things we're talking about in our RED programming, it's the County Reimagined programming, is the problem with general health and mental health here in Cass County. And it is an issue, and so we feel like we're a big part of helping improve those numbers. And then the parks spark connection through play, with 85% of Hoosiers agreed that their local parks positively impacted the quality of their community. And that's a big number. 85% of the community of people do that. So, and green spaces help reduce air pollution, of course, while also affecting local heat levels and overall air quality. I'll never forget the day that when we were building Houston Park and there was a tree. It was the hottest summer I still remember how hot it was. It was like 95 every day for about 60 days. And the difference between going from out in the sun to under this big tree in the middle of that place was like 10 degrees. It was amazing how much better it felt. That's why we left that tree there, even though the contractors didn't want us to leave it there, because they said it's going to go eventually. And it's like, I don't want to take that tree down. So you can still see where the tree was at. So anyway, there's a full study, and I have I have some really, really nice copies of this to give to people that we really want to be sure they see this information. But there's more to it as well. And so if you're interested in more, here's your QR code here. And so, anyway, any questions or thoughts on this? We don't give ourselves enough credit. I think that's part of it, and it's important for the community to know how important parks are to their community. So, anyway, project-wise, I'm going to move on to the administrative report. I'll let Dean talk about the driving range and clubhouse signage. We're still, I was hoping Kevin was able to be here tonight, but I know they were here working on the cameras last week, but I don't know how far they got, so I don't think it's completely done, though. So we have ordered the light poles and for the Spencer Park lighting, so that's probably going to have to encumber that money, I imagine, because it's probably not going to be here in time, so. The storage barn replacement at Spencer Park is about 50% complete. All the trusses are up, and I think he's planning to have he said it would be done by December 11th. So, okay.
Just in time.
Just in time, yeah. Okay, and so Jacqueline and I have been working on promotions for Christmas in the Park. Of course, the grand opening is on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, November 25th, and that's from 4 to 6 p.m. And, I mean, the actual ribbon cutting is at 6, and we'll do that right there at the regular entrance into the park. It is a walk-through night, though, so everybody walks. So you need to park either below to go see the reindeer and Santa Claus, or at least on the level up there on High Street.
So the reindeer and Santa Claus are going to be below?
Yeah, we're going to have them down at the lower pavilion, so, okay.
All right.
So what goes on between 4 and 6?
Hot chocolate,
Reindeer.
seeing the reindeer, getting to talk to Santa. And then at 6 is the big deal, so. Anyway, the Christmas tree lighting then is on Friday night, and the guys have got the tree up already. It needs to be fluffed, I guess, but we'll get there. We've met 3 times already, our group, and we're really excited. Dan Anderson is going to be able to be there this time, and it was he was the one that donated the money for this tree in honor of his father, Mike Anderson, and so we're excited about that, and hopefully he'll have a good time there. We did have a Parks Foundation meeting the 5th of November, and it was our annual meeting. New members were elected. New members that were elected are Isabel Crane and Chad Higgins. Lynn Ness was reelected as president. I don't remember what the other officers, who else was officers?
Well, then.
Philip Stevenson's been treasurer, and is Kyle
Secretary and treasurer.
is Kyle continuing to do vice president, or was that you?
I think it's Kyle.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And we're trying to find a project, or I'm trying to get the foundation to determine some kind of a fundraising project for something that we need to get done, so I don't know what that is yet, but we're working on it, so.
For the Christmas tree lighting and stuff, I know that they just got the steel in for the pavilion yesterday. Are they going to take that Steinberger semi out of there so people can see do we know, have anybody mentioned that? I mean,
I know Jacob and Ryan are meeting with Steinberger Thursday morning.
Yeah, 'cause
To-
that
it seemed like
does
it would be
it in
nice
that
to,
spot
I mean, the
there.
view is so nice.
I agree, I absolutely, I think that's the plan, but I
Originally,
don't,
they thought they'd have that pavilion done, and that would be all cleaned up, but I think it's getting close to time. Well, I just saw today that there's a big pile of steel. That's gonna,
they've had some delay in the
Yeah.
materials for the pavilion, So that's why it's not, I don't know what's happened, but, so.
But I think they could just, they've got it kind of fenced in, and they got their trailer up front. I think if they could just move the trailer someplace, so you could, even if even the fence was still there and you could see through it, I just think that that view of the tree and the depot and stuff is
Yeah.
kind of why we're doing this.
Chef Ryan from, who's going to be running the incubator kitchen, he said to me today that they have 17 vendors that are going to be there for Friday night, so, for that Friday night. So I was like, do we have 17 vendors to do that? So apparently we do. So anyway, yeah. I also wanted you to know that Jacqueline and I met with Malcolm Jarrell and Dave Morris about Memorial Home to start. We need to be, I feel like we need to be included in whatever discussion happens in terms of the interior. And so I think that was a really good start for us, and they were happy to have us be a part of that, and so I think that'll be fine. I know that Malcolm's been out of town for a while, so hopefully we can get into that here after Thanksgiving. So also, Jacqueline and I have been involved in the RED, it's called Rural Empowerment and Development for Cass County. That's what RED stands for. And like we did, and I'm involved in what's called the Public Spaces Committee, and Jacqueline's involved in the creating inexpensive activities for families. So both of those are kind of, and we had conference last week. It was great. It was really fun to be all of us going in three different directions, but I think we gained a lot of information, and now we just need to sit down and figure out how to apply it, so, and I got a couple really good ideas that I wish I'd had 10 years ago, but anyway, oh well, anyhow. I don't think I have anything else here. Nope. I'm done.
Come on up, Dean.
How's everyone doing?
Good, how are you?
Oh, ready for this, I'm not ready for the season to be over, but I'm glad the irrigation's shut down. That was a milestone for us. We used it hard this year. Very dry year, even all the way through the fall, as everybody knows, with the burn bans and stuff. So we actually shut it down later than we normally even do, about a week later, and we were using it up until the very end, basically, because the greens I went out and changed cups one day, and they were pretty firm. So, that's, like I said, as everybody knows, it was not an easy year. And with the irrigation, we're actually working on that today. We have one last thing we're going to try to get done, a fix, a gate valve on the main line, going to a couple stations. So we get that fixed, and hopefully tomorrow we can officially put it to bed for the season, and going on with the maintenance part of everything. We're in full-blown leaf season, hopefully rain took a bunch down the last couple days, so hopefully we can get that all cleaned up, and usually by Thanksgiving we do a lot of what's called a snow mold app for a fungicide for the greens, and we do a lot of fertilizing, and we always do that right around Thanksgiving. So that's busy next couple weeks to kind of get prepped for the winter and get everything in shape for next year. It always helps us start off the year on a good foot there with everything. Otherwise, I'll get my list here. Sim leagues are up and running in the clubhouse. That's been successful. We were hoping for about the amount of teams we had, about 25, which that's right where we were hoping to land, between that 20 and 30 to start the year off with. Kind of for us to learn too. This is all new for us, and we're glad we're not getting overwhelmed with it. But we're getting other rentals up there in the sim area and everything, and everything seems like it's going really good. The positive feedback on it is just incredible. I mean, and it's a lot of, it's guys coming from out of town, or like salesmen and people that see other clubhouses, not just the simulator, but the clubhouse and the simulator area, and just saying, boy, you guys did it right. And it makes us feel good, they see a lot of different places, and, the simulator room is really nice, and we did it right, so it's, we're pretty proud of that and everything. So, but like everything with the clubhouse, it's all new for us. Everything's new this year. We're learning. We're going to put a Christmas tree up in the clubhouse. We've never did that. Because we're usually, and we're usually, we
We're
had
usually shutting down.
Yeah, we had the plastic over the windows and stuff like that. So everything's new, but that's why like going into this year, we're really working on. The signage for the clubhouse should be coming up soon for the donor signs. We're working with Split Road Media with that, so they've been great. I know it's been maybe 10 days or so since we gave them the final, wordage, I believe, and stuff. So,
But we were sending those out to the donors to make sure they were all
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so
That's what we're waiting on.
Yeah, so this kind of sending out to them and stuff. So. We're waiting on that, and so that's, we'll get that all done this winter and get the other things dressed up in there and organized and things where we want. And we do have our 3-way license now, so we can sell hard alcohol, so that was been nice, and we're taking that slow like we said we were going to. We're figuring out what we need and everything in that area, but the clubhouse, everything's going good. Financially, been a good year for us. Our rounds are up. Even with working the club out or out in a trailer for a month in the hot weather and stuff like that, things are going good. We've brought in more money than we ever have. We spent more money than we ever have too. We're got a bigger staff and everything. So it's good that it's all kind of correlating together for us and everything. Let's see. Also on the outside part of stuff, the barn is, the new barn is pretty much complete. We're organizing it. We shoved everything in our barn for the last, few months. So you guys know how spring cleaning is sometimes. It's what it kind of feels like. We're moving stuff around and trying to find the right home for it. Sometimes we move it twice. And Dykeman Excavating's been up there doing the parking area for the driving range / our maintenance barn area up there, so we're excited to see that. They've ran into little, I don't want to say issues, but their utilities at the same time are trying to do the new power poles up there too. So I know I stayed away from them today, but it looked like they were in each other's way a little bit. So they were both in the same area, and it was a lot of big trucks and bulldozers and dump trucks and everything waiting down the road. So
A lot of interesting stuff.
yeah. So anyway, that's going good. The driving range is, our hope with a good spring that, we'll be hitting on it by, end of April. We poured the concrete pad at the back of the range. That is for the AstroTurf that we're putting down, that we'll put down next spring. And then, hope, like I said, we need a good spring and,
Sure.
And a good winter. And that the range, I'm excited for it. A lot of people are. It's something we've always kind of said the course was missing was that full-size range. So we're definitely pretty happy about that. So
So do you think, I saw we didn't have range ball income this year.
Yes.
You think we get a lot more money from the range?
Well, last year, we brought in about $13,000 in the driving range, if my memory is
Yes.
right. I say conservative, we'll double that.
Okay.
I really do believe that. in one.
It sounded like some people didn't like, it wasn't long enough for some people anyway.
Yeah, some people would call up there, you got a driving range, and we'd say, yeah, it's irons only, or you can only hit, well, I'm looking for somewhere I can hit my driver, And the big thing is, we're gonna have the range balls right there, so you don't even have to come to the clubhouse. You have, somebody has an extra, hour or something in the evening, I'm just gonna drive up there, you can park right there, go swipe your card, get your balls, go hit for an hour, take off, have your headphones on, you don't have to talk to anybody. Sometimes that's the way I feel, hide from people, but yeah, I really think it's going to, be a huge, jump for us, considering we had zero income in it this year,
Yeah,
that,
because I've been to part 3 before, and it's full, completely full at the driving
Yeah.
range.
Yeah.
You just walk up, get paid, get balls, you go out and hit, like Dean said, you got an hour,
Yeah.
you go out and hit.
And we built some, with the help of Dykeman Excavating, we built some target greens out there, which they were a huge help to us with that. And I seeded them end of September. Granted, it didn't rain much the rest of the year, so the seed is a little light in that area. I'm going to dormant seed it here in the next 10 days or so again, and we'll see if we can get a little grass to pop on that in the spring and stuff. But the concrete pad in the back is 150 foot long, so we will be able to have like 15 spots back there. So
Should be enough.
yeah, and for the AstroTurf wise, that means a couple things. When it's like we pick up an inch of rain and it's really wet, people aren't going. We'll make them hit off the turf. It'll be the top quality turf too. It's going to be nice. But the big thing is you're not tearing up the range. You're not taking huge divots. You're not, because you could go on our little range and after a wet day of people hitting, it was a lot more tore up. So a lot of, going to give us a lot more access, so, but,
He's got a conference he wants to.
oh, yeah, sorry, I don't have the agenda, I was just had my list in front of me. I've done a couple years ago, the GCSAA, the Golf Course Superintendent's Conference is in Orlando this year. I was planning on going again. It's, last time it was, like Jan said about the conference, it motivates you, you find so many good things out. We're coming into our major project again soon, irrigation, / pump house. So, that'll be one of the things that I focus on when I'm there and everything. So I'm just planning on doing that again in February.
I don't know for a fact that he needs to be approved to go out of state for travel, but for on our behalf, but I think it's important for you to approve that, so that he is doing it on under your approval. It seems like I did it, I had to do it when I went to Florida for.
Yeah, Jan
I went
couldn't, that's,
For
yeah,
I went to the golf school from the NRPA
yeah,
way back. Dan Slusser sent me. Can you believe that?
but yeah.
Okay.
So, but anyway, that's the plan. We're trying to get everything worked out still on the logistics.
So do I have a motion to accept Dean's request for out-of-state travel to the national conference in Orlando, Florida?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Favor say aye.
Aye.
That's all I have. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So I'll just, instead of doing the comments, so the question that I have for you is, we all approved the 2026 fees for the golf course, the new fees for 2026, all that's been approved. You've approved it, the council's approved it. And this week, I got an email that said I could buy a 2026 golf membership for the 2025 price.
Yeah, I believe that.
This year, right.
Yeah.
They do it right now.
Until January 1st.
But you've already told everyone what your 2026 fees are. And that's what it costs to golf for 2026. So we don't need to be giving, how does that make sense? Why are you letting me go back
We've done it before this way. I mean, that's just, I mean, and it was just, it gives us, it always would give us some more income at the end of the year and things like that.
It's not good business. It's not good business to approve all the fees for 2026 and then send out a coupon that says, you're gonna be golfing all of 2026 on 25 fees. And the only people that are gonna do that are who?
Not everybody. I mean, we don't get a lot of people. I mean, we get some. I think when we did one year, we brought in 20-some thousand extra dollars at the end of the year.
At the end of the year.
Yeah.
But I just think that's not good business. So I'm
Well, it's
just-
something, I mean, we can talk about, I
And it's
guess.
already public, it's already public record that our 2026 fees are established. So I just think that should be considered by you guys. That's all I want to say is, I understand that you've done it before, I don't know
Yeah.
how many years, but it's just not good business. Like, so now people are going to go to the golf course and say, oh, well, I didn't know that for 4 weeks I could have been golfing at 2026 at a 2025 rate. So I just.
One thing is it's only the season tickets. That's what they're talking about. It's not cart pass or cart fees or any of that kind of stuff,
I can
so.
understand that, but you have almost everyone that golfs at Dykeman every day are the people who are gonna take advantage of this.
Some do and some don't. I mean, it's not, I mean, like I said, when we did it, I know 2 years ago.
2 years ago,
Some
yeah.
$1,000 we brought in extra and, you know, so it's,
But we just spent $3 million to fill the clubhouse, and I'm just saying, you guys have all approved it, the council has approved it, and now you're saying, oh, we're gonna let you pay for 2025. I just think it's bad business, and I do think it's bad public notice to people who are gonna say, hey, I didn't know about that. I just think it's gonna cause a rift this year because we've raised our fees, and I just think if you're golfing in 2026, you just pay what it's gonna cost.
you know, I mean, it hasn't caused any issues before. It's definitely, I mean, it's not
It's not
going,
gonna cause issues.
well, you said
Of
riff.
course
I
not.
thought you said it was going to
It's
cause a
gonna-
riff.
it can cause a rift in 2026 because you raised your fee. It's not gonna, heck no, I'm not gonna cause an issue if you're
Yeah.
giving me 2026, yeah, you're letting me golf at 2025 fees. I just think it's bad business, and I'm just bringing it up.
But the one thing I would like to also say in the past, one of the reasons that we've done it in the past to get that last $20,000 is because they didn't have any income at all from January through March for the most part. And so in order to pay the wages and take care of the bills that were coming in during those 2 months, we needed that extra money. And maybe we don't now, but.
Maybe,
Golf
what,
course- You think that's where the golf course is now? We have a new driving range, we have a new clubhouse.
No, I don't think we need to do that, but I guess we hadn't really thought about that as much as what,
right, so, I
we
mean,
had to
going
do in the
forward,
past.
I mean, I don't want to go back on what we sent out. I mean, I'm not going to, you know,
You're not gonna renege.
yeah.
I understand. But
How many people usually do it?
But
How many people usually take advantage of it?
But there's there's 20-some thousand we brought in. You know, it's very common actually for golf courses to do stuff like this, to get money for the winter months. I mean, a lot of places, one of the things, yeah.
Wabash does it.
Yeah, there is all kinds of stuff out there right now where golf courses are doing this. And the other thing a lot of places do that we've never done is offer, you know, the 2026 membership starting in September 15th to get people, you know, that hadn't bought one in the past to buy one. So there's a lot of things in the golf business, you know, considering we go like,
it's also
You know, but-
money now as opposed to, in April.
yeah.
I'm
I mean,
not
it's
gonna-
been successful and it's been
after
good
all.
for us to do it in the past. And we can also, I mean, like I said, we can look at this moving forward, you know,
I understand that, but I also don't think you raise your fees every single year.
every 2 years we usually do
Right,
it,
so
so.
on a year where you
That's-
don't raise your fees, that's fine. But when you raise, I mean, I get it, that you're doing it because you're gonna get a break, but I'm just telling you that I just think it's bad business to publicize our new fees, and everybody knows what the new
The
fees
city doesn't
are,
pay
and
our
then you
employees
say,
enough.
oh, you know, we're gonna let you use 2025 fees, and look, I mean, I feel like you really upgraded your service, you really upgraded your golf course this year, And I just don't think everybody needs to keep, that's what
Yeah.
I think, so.
Yeah, it's, I mean, like I said, it's something we've done in the past, it's been successful for us, and it's something that is very common in the golf business to, offer to do this. And it is definitely something that as 2 years from now or the next time, we will definitely see how this year does and see if this is something we want to continue to do moving forward or not.
Okay.
How does it work? How do we get, you mentioned that we don't have money to pay salaries? Does
No, I'm just saying.
No,
City
that's-
council doesn't pay?
Sometimes, at the end of the year, depending on how much the bills, we may have only had a $50,000,
We were getting low on the non-reverting
To get into
golf
the next-
capital or something like that, so it was always nice to, because, our money comes out of the non-reverting golf capital, and, or not golf capital.
No, but
golf
it's
Yeah, golf operating, excuse me. That was 20-year-old budget there. But, so anyway, the money comes out of that. So, I mean, we start off, at one time this year, the money probably was over $200,000 in there. I don't know where it's at now. Then it dwindles down and, we were, a couple years we got in there where we were lower going into September, October, maybe not had the best year. So this was a way that got us some money because, not only wages that we were paying through the winter months, we're paying for our parts, we'll put a huge parts order in for blades and reels and filters and, so it gives us some operating money through the winter. That's why we did it in the past and it always worked out well.
Because if you have, pardon my stupidity, I understand in a private business where you're going to say, we're cash poor, like Pizza Hut has a special on Wednesdays because that's when their slow day of business is. And in a cash flow business, you're saying, hey, I need to have that money to cover payroll. I understand, that's my business. But I don't know whether it's a case in the city, or do they say, sorry, that fund's empty, you
Yeah.
can't pay your employees. So you could run into a case where you can't
It's-
pay employees because.
Because that money gets too low.
Okay, and
Yeah.
so the profit from the previous year, does it not roll over? Again, I don't
No, it
understand.
does. Yeah, it just, what is brought into the golf course, all the money that's brought in at the golf course goes into the non-reverting golf operating.
Okay.
And
Which
that's
are where
basically like
they're
a
paid
savings
from.
account, or a checking account or a savings account. Whatever we spend, if we go buy a $30,000 piece of equipment or a $3 piece of equipment, it all comes out of that. Wages, equipment, capital, so that's,
I'm just saying that I just think that when you approve your 2026 fees, and the city council approved your 2026 fees, those are your 2026 fees. That's what they are. And so then, you're saying to season
Yeah.
ticket holders, well, for a month, or how long is it, a month or 6 weeks?
Yeah.
And you say, come on in, and we're gonna let you have your 2025 rate. Well, my point would be, the people who come in there are the people who are golfing there all the time, because they're already season ticket holders.
sometimes there are. Sometimes there's people that just sit there and never had a season pass. So, it's multiple people. It's not, because, there will be
It sounds like an
someone.
incentive.
Yeah, there's someone that's got the, more than likely, I've seen it before, I don't have the number, I won't know who buys them and stuff this year and stuff,
It
but
is an incentive.
I've seen it where someone all of a sudden, got the golf bug in June, July, and August, never had a season pass, and then, we're selling them in, November or December, and they're like, well, I'm gonna get one for next year, because, this will make me play next year,
Well, I think that you're gonna see
and-
a lot more revenue this year off of this coupon that you're giving people, so I wanna know the numbers when this is over, because you're raising your rates for next year. So I think everybody and their mother's gonna jump on your 2025 fee ship. So I'm just saying, if we're gonna do this, then you say, we've set our 2026 fees, but, there's gonna be a 6 weeks period.
Okay, yeah, I understand
You
what
can
you're
still
saying.
get your fee
Yeah,
for 2025.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying,
I mean,
and
I-
like I said, we will look at this moving forward, and I know how you feel about it now, and,
All
But yeah, I mean, it's been a practice that we've done. It has not, ever been brought up to me like you have brought it up, so, I mean.
I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, I'm just saying you don't, the way that we've done it this year, and look, I'm new at this game, but I'm just saying we've already approved it, everybody said okay, and then now.
Yeah.
So I just think when we approve the fees, you should say, but you're gonna have a 6-week period at the end of the year in November and December where you can still get your 2025 fees if that's what you choose to do.
Well, I understand your concern. A year from now, this will be moot because they're not going to have that coupon.
I know.
They're going to pay those fees next for the 2027. No,
In 2 years, this will be
No.
the same story again. So just think about it, I just wanted to bring that up.
I think I think it's very interesting because you've got a whole new world here. And the goal of this thing is to get bodies into that at the golf course.
And we've had a good year. We've had
I don't know
more
if this
people.
does or not.
and-
I mean, realistically, you now have a three-way liquor license, you now have a golf house, you've got a golf simulator. I mean, the interesting is to get the ball going, and because I think it is, say, in my world, we have to have a line of credit at a bank that says we're gonna lose money from January until March, and then we start making money in April, and we pay interest to do that. I know cities, I don't think anybody charges you interest for that, but, you got some of the same principle, but it's kind of interesting to see if all of a sudden this gets people excited, and they, yeah, gosh, I got a heck of a deal, or I bought a Christmas present for my husband, or whatever. And then all of a sudden, we see that next year, this causes the snowball to say you're now selling more alcohol, and you're getting, the driving range is increased. I mean, just the excitement could be, and I say, we need to keep an eye on it, see what it does, and, say if it does what we want to get to drive more people, then, all right, and if it's something's done at different courses, I can see if it was a private course, they would want to do that to try to get cash flow for their winter, to pay their, but, I think government's kind of
Well,
different.
but-
I mean, most golf courses are private institutions, are
Well,
not.
it is new that the.
But we have-
Making money.
Yeah.
I mean, not new, we're making money.
We have been working on a system that limited how much we would have in the wintertime. I mean, how much money we would be bringing in the wintertime. And there have been lean years when we were down to $50,000 to make it all the way to March, when people were buying season tickets.
And you can always go into a March where you're, I've had Marches where we've done 200 rounds for the whole month of March.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that gets really,
It may
that's
be
no fun either.
Snow on the
you know?
ground the whole month of March. And
Yeah, you're not
nothing.
bringing any money in. And I've had, March
What is-
1st where we brought in, $20,000 on March 1st because, it's 72 degrees. So, I mean, we're a weather-dependent business, so there's
You could make the case that people come in and they're going to buy that for Christmas, and then you got your pro shop, you've got some special on pro shop stuff. And because they came in at that season, now they want to buy a pro shirt because it, or a.
shirt
well,
or
you
balls
have-
or.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying,
something.
I mean, there's an interesting case to be made. Anytime you drive, traffic is driving traffic, so.
It's a fine line between city government and private enterprise.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's kind of like the desire to have to charge credit card fees in the government all the time, so. But, yeah.
Any other visitors' comments? Board comments, Eamon?
No comment tonight.
Mike?
Is that enough?
Jason?
Question, with the new, usually when municipalities or even private places will build a new building, they often have some type of a bronze plaque that goes with it that lists everything that happened for historical purposes. Are we doing that?
we are doing a donor sign for sure. That,
We have talked to Steinberger once about, they were even talking about doing something with putting a list of, like, everybody involved.
Because there should be some record of who was the parks administrator 50 years from now. They're going to want, that's historic.
know.
We want that name. Who was the mayor, who was the city council, who was the parks board, who was the parks.
that is one of the,
Yeah.
like we said back in May 25th, when we opened the clubhouse or whatever the date that was, we were going to hit the ground running and run a golf course for the next 4 or 5 months. And that is one of the things that's on our list to look at this winter.
It's just something that popped up when you were talking about sending out for donors and
To us, 'cause
so, but anyway,
we
yeah.
need, there's a,
Yeah,
we need to recognize people, even the people that didn't,
give money, yeah.
give money.
Yeah.
That.
Well, and they usually
Yeah.
put the construction company's name and
Yeah,
all of that stuff on
absolutely.
there. It's like a historical record.
I'm also working with Beth Myers on a history project for the 100 years, so we need to include this in,
Jason, have you been in the Y? Did you see when the Y finished their,
I have not been in since they've remodeled it, no.
so if you go in the Y, that's a great idea. Like, it's really well done.
Yeah.
And it's in different places. you know.
I just know from working in schools,
Schools
every
always
school
do it.
building I'm in,
Schools
there's
do
a Harold, somebody from
Yeah.
1965 was on the board when this building was built and blah, blah, blah. And so I've always been around them, but,
It's neat to see when you,
Yeah.
especially the older ones, and you see names that, you
Yeah.
might recognize.
well, the other thing, the other part of it is that there are boards for all the different winners of each of the different outings or tournaments that they've had. They're going to find a way to get those back up and display those right there on that wall that you see as you walk in, the big blue wall. That's one thing that's going to be there, so, so that's, and we also did a picture of Judge Dykeman, and we're going to have that, I hope, somewhere. I hope somewhere. I haven't figured out yet, but I'm trying to pull up here on my phone the sample of the donor wall right now. I gotta find it. Anyway, I'll try to get that before you guys leave.
All right. Anything else, Jason? Jennifer?
Nope, no comment tonight.
Okay, well, just my normal, thanks to Jan, Kelly, Jacqueline, Kevin, Dean, Kyle, and all the employees of the Parks Department. I know for Kevin and his staff, it's been a busy month getting ready for Christmas in the park. I'm sure it'll be fabulous, as it always is. And with that being said, we are adjourned at 6:31.